Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Dear students, Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to office.com.pk. In the previous lecture, we have discussed the basics of human excretory system and basic structure of human kidney. The basic structural and functional unit of kidney, which is known as nephron, will be discussed today. Nephron has two basic parts: renal corpuscle and renal tubule. The renal corpuscle has further two parts: the Bowman's capsule and the glomerulus. The Bowman's capsule and the glomerulus, whereas the renal tubule is divided into three sections known as proximal convoluted tubule, loop of Henle, and distal convoluted tubule. This is called convoluted because it is kind of twisted to allow the proper reabsorption of materials. So now I will draw the diagram of nephron, which will be quite simple but very explanatory, and I will label the above mentioned parts. This will be Bowman's capsule. This is proximal convoluted tubule, the loop of Henle, and the distal convoluted tubule. Here I will draw the glomerulus. Glomerulus is actually a tuft of blood capillaries, and a good blood supply is very important to allow the proper reabsorption. This is glomerulus. This whole thing is known as glomerulus. This is Bowman's capsule. This is proximal convoluted tubule. This is descending limb. This is descending limb, and this is ascending limb. And this whole structure, U-shaped structure with two limbs, is known as loop of Henle. This is distal convoluted tubule. And all the distal convoluted tubules from many nephrons will ultimately end into this structure known as collecting duct. This is known as collecting duct. And many collecting ducts finally fall into the renal pelvis, which we have studied earlier, and they finally empty into the ureter. Dear students, now we will move towards the functions of nephron. The function of nephron is basically the formation of urine. This is the formation of urine. Which is completed in three steps. Number 1, pressure filtration. Number 2, selective reabsorption, and number 3 is tubular secretion. First we will discuss the pressure filtration. Pressure filtration happens when the blood from the renal artery enters the glomerulus through arterioles. Arterioles are the smallest arteries. The blood enters the glomerulus This blood has the high pressure, due to which the waste materials, which includes water, salt, glucose and urea, it is filtered into the Bowman's capsule, means the blood is clarified and all the waste material falls into the Bowman's capsule. This whole waste material is now known as glomerular filtrate, but this material is not entirely waste, so some kind of reabsorption takes place so that the important components can be saved inside the body. The next step is selective reabsorption. In this step, 99% of the filtrate is reabsorbed by three processes: osmosis, diffusion and active transport. This will include some water and glucose. When it will reach the loop of Henle, the descending limb will allow the reabsorption of water and ascending limb will allow the reabsorption of salt. The salts are reabsorbed through active transport. Water always follows the salts. Water always follows the salts and it is reabsorbed through osmosis. Now the filtrate reaches distal tubule. Here only the reabsorption of water takes place. Now this whole material which is left enters the next step, which is tubular secretion. Here the blood again filters or secretes some of its ions, creatinine and urea, that are totally waste materials, into the filtrate, and this results in the formation of urine. The urine now moves to the collecting ducts and from there it will move towards the pelvis. Dear students, that is all about today's topic. In the next lecture, we will discuss the osmoregulatory function of kidney. That is all about today. Thank you very much. Allah Hafiz.